Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fuel and Fumes podcast. We are your two hosts, bringing you all the racing news and gambling picks. We bring a new podcast every Friday morning. We bring all the racing series to the table, discussing all the breaking news from every racing series we can get our little slimy fingers on.
Oh,
McGregor, how are we doing?
doing all right. Just all right. It's cold as hell. It's about that time of year when you have to start scraping off your car in the morning. And that realization is not sitting well with me. How you doing, Spencer? Other than that, I'm great. Other than that, just thriving.
The frost on the ground is tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And you know what that means? It's end of season racing, which is just, I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, it's a little tough, especially when you grab a nice hot coffee in the morning, and then yesterday I didn't realize that it was still scalding hot. You took a big sip of black coffee and just scalded your tongue. So there's a lot of weather problems going on and temperature issues.
My problem with that is, how did you not think about that? Like, how did you take a cup of coffee and then just like, oh, it's cold out, and then scald yourself?
I let it sit for 15 minutes, and then I had enough, just assuming that it was fine, and it was indeed not fine.
Was not fine.
Yeah.
Repeat, not fine.
Not okay. So yeah, I think the temperature changes are getting to your two hosts here, but we're making do.
Yeah. And that funny little point there where you say, bring all the racing series to the table. Spencer, we had a lot of racing series at the table this past weekend. And I just want to apologize to listeners because I did not let them know about one of my favorite races, the Bathurst 1000. But it looks like I did you guys a favor because it was a snooze fest. It was unmemorable. Compared to the scale and spectacle of last year, it did not even come close to anywhere near the excitement this year. So I'm kind of disappointed by that as well. Shit, who won?
It was that unmemorable.
It was seriously that unmemorable. I know Brock Feeney, the Red Bull, I think he's Red Bull Ample driver, came second. Who won Bathurst 1000? Take a guess, Spencer. Pull a name out of a hat.
Buddy, I don't know anyone in that.
I don't care.
Series.
Make up a name.
Oh, jeez. I was going to say something bad. I was going to say something really bad.
So say something good.
Nelson PK.
No, it was Brody Kostecki.
Nice.
Another Bathurst legend.
That was my second guess.
Yeah, I bet.
Fortunate.
Is that or Di Pasquale?
Exactly,
Spencer. And the other race that we had this weekend was Petit Le Mans,
where the midgets raced Le Mans.
Exactly. It was small Le Mans.
Just Willy Wonka and his little tribunal run around.
Yeah, with the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka's in a sprint car, and then the Oompa Loompas are in
midget
cars.
Yeah, they follow. Do we have any idea why they call it Petit Le Mans?
Because it was it's a smaller version. Because the Le Mans track is massive. That straight is like 2 or something miles.
And why wouldn't they just call it like a shorter Le Mans or like?
Well, because I think Le Mans is French.
Oh.
Don't quote me on it, but it might be.
Title of the podcast is Le Mans French.
Is Le Mans French? But yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting thing. And if you're really serious about it, we can give it a Google.
Like we call the Nürburgring, you kind of just call it the Nürburgring, even though there's like multiple variations of which Nürburgring you drive. But the majority of people just call it the Nürburgring. Like, why wouldn't they just call it Le Mans, or pick something other than Petit? Because you think Petit, my head goes to small people immediately. I just see a bunch of Oompa Loompas driving around while Willy Wonka rips the pace car. Like that's in my head. It's terrible. Oh, you got a little
it looks like there was an automobile club de l'Ouest, which, pardon my French, but I think it means West. It was trying to create a new worldwide series and made an agreement with the owner of the Road Atlanta racing course. So the owner of the Atlanta-based Petit Le Mans circuit. And so they basically just lent out the name because they were trying to start a new series. And they called it Petit Le Mans. which is French for Little Le Mans.
Okay.
So you get your morning French lesson here.
Nice.
And not really the most interesting story in the world.
No.
It's kind of cut and dry. But it is a great racetrack, one of the best in America. And yeah, we saw a lot of great racing. I think the 01 car, I believe it's a Cadillac, won with Scott Dixon, the Iceman. I think it's Ringer Van de Zen, and shit, there's someone else.
Nelson Piquet.
Nope. Oh, Sebastian Bourdais. That's who it was.
There you go.
There was like 5 minutes of silence there. That was good.
Be a lot of snipping on this podcast.
Yeah.
Be a lot of snipping.
A lot of snipping. But yeah, so we had a lot of racing this weekend. Didn't get to watch it because it was obviously Thanksgiving. But
are you a turkey or a ham guy?
See, we had both. We had a deep fried turkey, which is not my favorite way to have a turkey. It was injected with like a pound of butter.
Okay.
And completely black on the outside. So you'd think it was really good, but it was like mid. Oh. I think for the amount of hype that goes around the deep fried turkey trend and the amount of people that burn their homes down on Thanksgiving doing that, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, risk and reward.
Like, what about you, Spence?
You didn't answer the question.
Yeah, so for that reason, I'm gonna have to go with a big slice of turkey. I'll take that over some ham.
Really?
A regular cooked turkey. And my girlfriend's family puts bacon over the turkey, and it kind of bastes it as it cooks. It's very nice.
Oh, okay. You're going turkey.
Turkey with a little bacon on it. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going ham. I think turkey is one of the most overrated things. I know people love it at Thanksgiving dinner.
And Christmas.
Luckily, my girlfriend's stepdad smokes a turkey, so that's just absolutely incredible. It's the only way I'd probably eat it. But yeah, I think turkey is extremely mid. Controversial opinion, but I do think it is a very mid meat. A
mid bird?
Yeah, it's a mid bird. I'm going like I'd rather eat like a bunch of pigeons at the dinner table.
Rank your birds. You got quail,
quail's really
Cornish
good.
Game hen, chicken,
ostrich,
and turkey, and pterodactyl,
and penguin.
Yeah.
Would John count as a bird?
No, not even close.
Not even
John
close?
is not. He's got chicken legs, but it's not a bird. It's not
true.
A bird.
Okay. Probably go chicken, ostrich. Probably throw in a quail, and then maybe T4 throw in an ostrich, but just the egg.
Okay, just the egg. And Cornish game hen is off
the table.
Turkey is off. Okay, this is important shit.
Yeah, I know. I thought so.
Yeah.
And you know what else is important?
Oh, I was just going to say that.
Give it a go.
You know what else is really important, Spencer? That this episode is fueled by C4 Energy. Remember to use code FUMES, that is FUMES, for 20% off at checkout when you're buying your favorite delicious C4 Energy drinks.
Like I said, I've been feeding it to my dog for weeks. He loves it. It's his favorite thing. I'm telling you, I could drink it. I would drink it every day if I could, but I don't have enough because I drink so much of it. So,
yeah, there's not enough C4 in the world to quench my eternal thirst for C4. The Arctic snow cone takes me back to those hot summer days when you just need a little cool down and a pump up. C4 Energy will do that for you.
Solid.
It's good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. I'm telling you.
Also, fun thing. I was at the gym yesterday. Slugged back to C4, and then I saw a guy wearing a C4 shirt, and he had the largest calves I'd ever seen on a human. Did you
compliment him?
No.
Yeah.
It was like his quads fell off and fell down to his calf.
It's like when someone's eyebrows fall off and head to their mustache. It was just his quads to his calves.
Just fun fact. Just something I saw. Thought you guys should know.
Well, we appreciate you keeping us in the loop.
Yeah, no worries. Anytime, man. Should we get into some of the news stories? Because we've got racing back this week.
Yeah, it's great. It's my girlfriend the other day asks, do you not have the race? Because we haven't been watching the race. And I said, no, there's no race on this week. And she goes, is it over? And I said,
No.
Is it over?
We've got 2 triple headers.
Buddy, we got 6 races left. Don't even kid with me. No, it's not over. We have plenty of racing to go after a month-long break. But Coda's back this week. And on the news stories heading into this race week, Haas F1 team inks a new American sponsor ahead of the U.S. Grand Prix this weekend. And as the United States Grand Prix circuit approaches, the F1 Haas F1 team has a brand new sponsor. So this is Orin 180, an American-based insurance firm, will join the American-owned Formula One team with a multi-year partnership. This newest partnership for the Haas F1 team also has, of course, MoneyGram as its title sponsor. So we got this American money coming. Haas F1 team. Oh, what's up?
You've also got a brand new ink deal with Toyota Gazoo Racing, who is showing up on the rear wing. This is also pretty cool because Komatsu's turning this ship around. I think this is all that we can chalk this up to is, maybe they're going to get more young drivers. Maybe, I don't know what this actually means for Haas, but they're getting more interest, more sponsorship dollars. This is their home race, so why not pull out all the stops, right?
Don't forget that the Japanese not only have ships and race cars, but they also have planes.
Yes. I care to elaborate?
Nope.
All right.
Leave it right there.
Let's just leave it right there.
Put a pin in it.
All right. Where do take the pin out? Where do we go, Spence?
Well,
take me on a journey here.
There is a few news stories we could head into. However, I'm going to tackle this one right away. So F1 Motorsports did a great article this week ranking all the F1 circuits that F1 has driven at the United States. And I believe there's 12. Would you like to guess all of them?
All right, let's go legendary here. We got Watkins Glen. We've got Las Vegas. We've got this is just America.
This is just America.
Okay, so we've got Coda. We've got, are we saying Las Vegas, the road course is also one?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Then we've got, IMS. So there's 5. And there was 12.
Some of these you're not going to guess.
Some of these? Okay.
You've gotten the
big 5.
The big ones, yes.
There's going to be maybe a Homestead Miami.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, not Homestead. It's just
Miami, the road course. Okay. That's it.
The ones you were missing here, you've gotten the most ones. So you got Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. So you got one of the Las Vegas tracks. The first one you missed was Fair Park, Dallas, Texas.
Is that when they raced in the parking lot?
Well, they also raced in the parking lot at Las Vegas.
Yeah, they raced at Caesar's Palace, Vegas.
However, yes, this looks like it was it looks like it's right beside the airport, but it does look like a road course.
Potentially. Phoenix.
Yes.
Did they race? It wasn't the Oval, was it?
No. So it was, they raced there for 3 years, 1989 to 91. Again, it looks like it's
Phoenix,
the streets of Phoenix. You can see in this picture, we have a picture up here of John Lacey in his Tyrrell 118 Ford leading Senna in his classic McLaren MP4.
Oh, MP4 5B. Nice. Okay.
You did guess
Miami,
Florida. Yes. The next one was, of course, Las Vegas, which you also
the road course.
Yes, which you also got Detroit. Michigan.
Huh.
Yes, they raced there for 7 years.
We have Monaco at home.
Yes.
Huh. Back in the Motor City, baby. Should have thought about that one.
Yeah. Well, that's a hard one. Who would have ever guessed Formula One race in the streets of Detroit with T Grizzly? I would not have.
No,
They also did Riverside, California, 1GP in 1960. It was rapid, but then the venue simply was lost to time. As you have Sterling Moss in his Lotus 18 Climax, hot. And then you also have Sebring, Florida in 1959, which was an air course that became reversed to a sports car venue. Of course, we have the classic Indianapolis, which we have begged and begged and begged for them to bring back. It is one of the most iconic and interesting courses for the road course, as they basically do the oval backwards. At least
do
a
it backwards
partial
and the infield.
Yeah, and the infield. So it's a pretty wild course. I wish they brought it back. It's some of the best racing, in my opinion. We then have Circus of the America, which you guessed, which is this weekend in Coda. It's been racing there since 2012. Then the one you missed was Long Beach, California. They did 8 GPs there from 1976 to 1983, which was the much-loved C Circuit, which IndyCar still races. And then, of course, as you said, 20 GPs at number 1 was Walking Glens, New York, where they raced there from 1961 to 1980.
That's sick. Wow. I had no idea that, like, it seems like they would just kind of go anywhere as they do now, but they'd bring a circuit with them, they'd throw it down, and that was it. Now we have all these like legal things and promoting, and seems like a lot of BS if you ask me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm all for the U.S. circuits, and yeah, there's some cool niche ones in there that
some of them should
exist.
Absolutely have stayed off. Some of them should never have been. Las Vegas parking lot being one, that was a dumpster fire.
I'm still saying Miami, Florida is a terrible race. I'm with that.
I'm
putting it out there. Switch Miami for Indianapolis. How about that? Okay, this is a democracy here. Switch it. Swap it. Switch it.
I would actually love to see what F1 could draw compared to IndyCar at IMS.
I am curious because we've gone to the road course.
We've gone to the road course. We've gone to the 500. And if we had an F1 race to kind of hold the light to and be like, hey, there's 450,000 people here for the 500. Can F1 pull that in a little Speedway, Indiana?
We'd like to see the comparison.
It would be cool.
So when was the last time they raced there? 2006 or 7? Yeah, 7. Yeah. So it's been a while since they've raced there. So I want to bring it back. Did Schumacher win that one? Schumacher won a bunch of ones in Indianapolis. Yeah. It was one of his most dominant circuits.
He's pretty good.
He was all right.
He's all right.
I got another article here that I'm not going to let you read because
thank God I saw a lot.
This is a hard one to kind of get your mind through because I read the article fully. So people are complaining onto our next news story that millions of children are now exposed to e-cigarettes and nicotine pouching as F1 brands new sponsorships ahead of the 2025 season. As cigarette branding returns, their expansive usage of course, the historical brand of cigarettes has been in racing forever. Think of John Player Special. We love the Marlboro liveries on the McLarens. Cigarettes have come and gone, but we want them back. Okay, but people are complaining that they shouldn't be back. So this was written yesterday, actually. So a new report from the tobacco industry watchdog warns that tobacco industry sponsorships and formula is putting a new generation of young fans at risk of addiction to tobacco and nicotine products. This includes cigarettes, as Formula One promotes its exclusive archive of racing footage and its major brand tobacco objectives with Philip Morris International and British Tobacco Company, and other key findings also find BAT and PMI, which are other sponsorships looking to spend around $40 million combined for F1 sponsorships. To wrap this up in short, basically people are complaining that they're bringing cigarettes back to racing, but listen, cigarettes need to come back to racing.
I'd agree.
There's nothing you can do about it. We love cigarettes, specifically on race cars. Okay.
Yeah. Only on race cars.
Yeah. So bring them back. Okay. I could care less that you're sad that Max Verstappen's swearing and they're bringing back cigarettes. Find a different racing series. Okay.
Yeah. I think we're getting a bit of a grassroots movement here. We're sending it right back to the good old days.
Yeah.
With cigarettes, swearing, danger, fast guys. Like we've got it all. We just need what's the last thing we need, Spence? We need beer. We need beer back in a race.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what we need.
Tell me.
I'm gonna Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So
Couldn't agree more. So yeah, we got those things. Those need to come back, and we're having a grassroots movement. And you know what? Things are looking up for the sport.
yeah, things are really looking up.
looking up.
I read this article and I went, cigarettes, perfect. Clicked on it. People were complaining about cigarettes. Explain to me how you complain about cigarettes on race cars. That's like complaining that the function has beer. Why are we complaining here?
See, my issue is betting sponsors.
Mm.
They're everywhere. It's ridiculous, but we can't have cigarette and beer advertisements.
One guy smokes one cigarette and the world jumps on its head. Okay.
Yeah, but we get 30 million betting ads from these sketchy little French international betting sites, and it's like, oh, great, perfect.
Yeah.
What the like?
Yeah, people. These listen. Betting is just as addictive as cigarettes, and we bring them both back, and we're okay.
Yeah, I'm in.
I read this article
Sold.
and I said, bring cigarettes back to racing.
See, can we just get, like I know McLaren, they've got Velo, right, which is a pouch brand. They rebrand to go to Love when they're in, like the car says Love on the side when it's in, where is it? Netherlands. I think that's pretty cool. But in the States, they also have like warning, nicotine's an addictive substance, blah, blah, blah. But it's not a recognizable brand.
Yep.
You know, it's not the red and white of Marlboro.
It's not the gold of John Player special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe if we get some more iconic looking cigarette brands, you know, bring back the Camel.
Bring back the Camel.
Bring back Camel.
Bring back Camel.
And yeah, I think that's it. I think we just need good branding, good designs, and cigarettes back. Yeah.
Bring them back.
Bring it back.
On to our next story, McGregor. You can, give it a twirl. Give it a whirl.
I'm excited about this one. I also have a sneeze in the chamber, but it's not ready to go yet.
Okay,
so.
Do you want to take a temporary pause?
No, I'm just going to send it. Even if I sound like I'm going to start crying here. But Haley Deegan is shifting to Indy next for 2025 with HMD Motorsports. The 23-year-old is making the transition from dirt and stock car racing to open wheel next season. The 23-year-old is set to contest in all 14 rounds with the team's number 38 entry. She becomes the 5th driver confirmed by HMD Motorsports. Joining the lineup next year includes Kyle Collette, Josh Peason, unfortunate name, Toby Smith, and Bryce Aaron. And there's been also a few more added since this has been published. But Deegan gets her first taste behind the wheel of an Indy NXT machinery at the upcoming Chris Griff's Memorial Test at the IMS Road Course this Friday. Yes. And of course, she is thrown out a little quote saying that I'm excited about the opportunity and look forward to working with a proven program in HMD Motorsports. This is pretty cool. This is massive for the sport. I think we're getting, another female back on the grid, which is great. We're getting a proven, like, full-blown race car driver here.
I thought she was a lot older than 23 for some reason in my head.
Spencer.
What?
I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to talk about women in age. I don't think they're supposed to be in the same.
I saw that she was 23, and I thought in my head, I thought she was at least like 27, 28. I don't know why.
Well, see, that's the thing about Jamie Chadwick that confuses the hell out of me, because she's like 26.
Yeah.
And she's just, I don't know.
She's just fast.
I think they both
have just been
the two of them
are just for so long.
Yeah, they're just race car drivers. Yeah. That's it, man. Yeah, this is great. Also, more HMD drivers getting signed. Our boy, Nolan Aller, he just got signed for HMD and will be at the same test on Friday. Reached out to him, he said he's pretty pumped.
Nice.
He said he's really just had no idea how they got a second year, but they got it, and he's hyped about it. So big things in the pipeline for Mr. Aller. If you haven't listened to our episode with him already, go have a listen. It's fantastic. It was episode number.
Was it up? Oh, no way. It must have been down. We're episode 41.
41 in Detroit with the Lions, baby. That's our boy Nolan Aller. But yeah, really excited. All these signings that keep coming out. This is great. This is fueling me.
Oh, fueling.
Oh, and would you perhaps say fuming as well?
Yes. See.
I wonder where we got that from.
Fuming with excitement because can I move on? Are we good?
Yeah. We're on to the next.
We have a race and a sprint this weekend.
Hold on. I got one more news.
Okay.
Hy-Vee has left the
Rahal Letterman Racing.
Rahal Letterman Lanigan racing car number 45. This was on Christian Lundgaard's car.
It's just a sponsor, correct?
It's a big sponsor for the car. If you recall, it was all over the side pod.
Yes.
It was a big thing on the car. But could they be moving with Lundgaard to McLaren?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
Yeah, would make sense.
They peeled it off, they stuck it back on an orange
lick
star.
and stick, like a little postage stamp. Also, question, Renus VK, where's he going? I don't know.
Answer, he might be out of a ride.
Yeah, you think?
What I think will probably happen with him, which would make the most sense to me, is that they'll do a similar thing where they at least have a drive for him for the 500. I don't know what team it'll be with. And he could be a substitute option for any oval.
Yeah.
Because those are his bread and butter, are
the
the ovals.
He's a speedy guy.
But road course, not so much. But yeah, the ovals are his jam. So I would assume that.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, so I think he's probably out of a ride until probably a 500 seat. But I may be wrong. But there's a lot of
moving and shaking that would need to happen to get him on the grid.
Yes.
Because there's already not a shortage of seats, but a lot of seats have been spoken for.
A lot of guys have signed the paper.
We need musical chairs to happen. We need a big shakeup. But that's about it. We can go on to our F1 coverage for the weekend.
Let me see if I can take a sip of this coffee.
Mm.
I'm actually pretty frightened, though. Like, it's still bloody hot, man. No, I think I can do it. We're in business.
Boy, that's bloody lovely.
We're in business. And yeah, so we have a race and a sprint this weekend. Apparently, Red Bull's bringing major upgrades. That's just what I heard through the grapevine. Yeah, I've heard that they're bringing upgrades. I think that'll probably allow Max to at least get a podium, but I don't know what that will kind of entail until we kind of see what kind of pans out. But I'm really excited to have a race and a sprint this weekend. I've really missed some F1 racing. It's the first time in a long time where I'm just itching to watch a race. Sometimes I'm like, I'll just watch the 30-minute highlights. No, I'm ready to watch the full calendar for this weekend. So I'm curious to kind of see what happens, to pick your brain of what you think might happen this weekend. Because we really haven't talked much racing in the Formula One sphere.
And I've been missing it quite a bit, actually. It's weird with, picking up where we left off. Obviously, Red Bull's kind of on a downward spiral. Sergio Perez nowhere to be found, obviously.
Maybe in Mexico City.
Yeah, maybe Mexico City, but Max is on the downward. McLaren, they're looking like a bunch of hungry dogs right now. They want it more than anybody. I think those two will be on the podium. I'm thinking 1-2, maybe 1-2 or 1-3 from McLaren. What do you think? Maybe we'll get into the picks after.
No, I think you're probably pretty much on it.
And then it's going to be a bit of a weird one with Ferrari, obviously kind of being nowhere to be found some weeks.
Yeah, I think what'll happen the remainder of the season, it'll be basically a McLaren Ferrari kind of up in the mix. But I do think Max will be up there. I don't want to say Red Bull because it's not Red Bull. It's just Max. So I do think that it'll probably just be a split constantly, the podium between Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, and Charles Leclerc in no particular order. But I think those four will be the real fight for contesting for podiums.
Now, you also can't count out Lewis because he's
can.
won here 5 times.
I can count.
He has won 5 times in Austin. Mercedes has also, again, won 5 times. So they may have an idea about what to do here.
The only way that he wins, this has been a constant battle in my head where I don't think Lewis has a chance of winning this whatsoever. Then he wins to, no, I wouldn't say controversially, but the last one probably was in Spa with George getting the boot.
Right.
But I think Mercedes specifically is just the demon in the category of pit stops and overall strategy of what they want to do. They are the demon of one stop, so I think it's possible that they maybe Coda's always a 2.
Coda's a tire shredder.
Maybe they start him on a hard and think that he can go long. I don't know. I'm curious to see what the weekend forecast will look like, because that'll also determine the outcome of kind of their strategy. But yeah, I think there'll be some very interesting mashups. Of course, Lawson is also in this week. It is Lawson's first real go at the starting of this, well, I guess mid-season, 6 races to go. He also has a massive grid penalty too. I think he's starting at the very back. No matter where he kind of starts. I don't know if it's 15 or 20. I know he's got a fat grid place penalty.
He's going to be starting back with Valtteri Bottas, who is 22nd out of 20 drivers. That is just disappointing.
It's tough because he has looked fast. In Canada, he looked fast.
Yeah.
In races, he has looked fast. He just hasn't had the opportunity to gain points to put himself up there, which I think is harsh, because really, he should not be dead last.
No, should not. Like that's a reserved for a Sargent, a Latifi, a Mazepin, you name it. They should be down there, but he should not be.
No.
Question for you.
Answer.
Colapinto versus Albon. Who's getting the upper hand this weekend?
I say Albon. I'm a ride for die Albon. I think if someone asked me the other day, I said, "Who's your F1 team?" and I said, "I really don't have one." I think I'd cheer for McLaren. I think McLaren's a great team to cheer for. I like Oscar and I like Albon. I would say if I'm to pick 2 people, I would probably say those are the 2. I think Lando's a good one, but he's too much of a fan favorite, so I don't like the cop out of that answer. I've always liked Piastri. I like Piastri when he was coming up the ranks and Alpine was fighting for him. And
yeah, he's a bit of a dog.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dog. So, and he's a very skillful racer. We've seen him make those passes on the inside of Leclerc and these crazy passes that are Ricciardo-esque, which we keep saying. So, I think probably it's going to be a fight between between Albon and Colapinto. I'd probably say Colapinto. I don't know how to say it.
No, you said Albon.
No, I say to say his name correctly.
Yeah.
Probably, I would say Albon. Yeah, it'll be close though. I'm actually surprised
I'm curious
how
to see how he's doing,
Yep.
because he is actually he's an interesting midseason swap. I had no hopes for him, but now apparently he's in talks for the Sauber seat.
Wow.
Apparently. That's all here to say, Your Honor.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah. Also, this is going to be one of the first races in a long time without Daniel. Well, not a long time, about a year without Daniel Ricciardo, or 8 months or something like that. But it'll be weird not seeing him in the grid, on the horses, wearing his cowboy hat and shit.
It's a tough race to pull him out of before.
Yeah, this is essentially a home race for him due to his popularity in the US. But you think he'll show up?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I would think.
You think he's coming back to the workplace that soon, eh?
I would think so.
I think there's a good 6-month rule there.
Maybe he comes in riding a bull. We don't know. We truly don't know.
All right.
So do you? I'll run through my picks. I see here in the document that you've left yours blank, so I'll let you jump off of mine.
It's open to interpretation.
So for my top 5, I have the bottom 2 on the 5 and the 4 spot. I got Sainz and Charles. I do think the Ferraris will be relatively competitive here, but I don't think they'll be fighting for a podium. They could be. I think Sainz might sneak something out here. But those are my 4-5. My bottom step of the podium, I got Max. I think he could even split the McLarens, but we'll kind of see how their upgrade actually ends up. For 2 and 1, I have Oscar and Lando. I got Lando winning this race. Could even be Oscar, but it'll be a competitive race to kind of see what happens. Right now in the standings, you have Max at 331 points and Lando at 279 points. So it'll be close. It's getting close.
Very nice, Spencer. Very good picks. I'm going to have to go ahead and swap a couple. So in number 5, I'm going to go George. I think that'll, yeah. So I got George, and then I've got Charles, and then Hamilton, in the 4 or the 3, sorry.
Mhm.
Oh no. Yeah, and then I've got Oscar, Lando.
Okay. I could see Lewis squeezing something out.
I think Lewis, I think 5 times is too many to ignore. And they've kind of just been that sleeper pick at a lot of tracks, especially one like this where you can play good strategy games just due to kind of the consistent nature of the track. You kind of know what to expect. Kind of it can be a tire shredder and it can be ugly going up into turn 1. So who knows who will get collected or, pulled out of there. But we have seen clean racing lately. So who knows? Maybe this is the one where we actually get a safety car, a red flag, a crash.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because I do think it's very possible.
I think this might be the one where we actually get a safety car.
I think because in recent years it has been so uncompetitive that there's no real close racing in these weird chicanes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that now that the cars are so equal, I guess McLaren's kind of taken off a little bit.
They're taken off, but
I think it's close enough that I do agree that I do think a red flag could definitely be a play. And now that you say that, before we end the podcast, I am curious to see what the odds are for a red flag, because as of recently, a red flag is nearly, and I wouldn't say impossible, but they have not, they've been on the side of caution for throwing out a red flag because I just don't think it's going to happen. But let me head into this week and see if that is a pick that we can give out to our fans. Red flag odds are right now at 4.5 to 1 for a red flag to come out. So that's actually a great odd pick. So yeah, I'd like to throw a little red flag out there.
A little splash of cash.
Yeah, let's throw a red flag.
Very nice, Spencer.
Other than that,
nice.
We don't have much more. We're really excited for this race this weekend because we haven't had a lot to talk about as friends and co-hosts of the podcast. So
yeah,
we get some racing.
We hope you enjoy the racing. Let us know if you've got any picks yourself. I'm curious to hear them.
Call and we'll pick up.
Yeah, exactly. DM us on Instagram.
Hello.
Also, if you want to buy a t-shirt, send us a DM, shoot us a message. If you've gotten to this far in the podcast, we thank you. We love you. And with that, we are
thanks, Grandma.
Out of here.